Bill Maher, the outspoken comedian and host of Real Time with Bill Maher, has stirred the political waters once again, this time calling out prominent Democrats for avoiding his late-night talk show. In recent remarks, Maher directed his frustration at Vice President Kamala Harris, as well as former Presidents Bill and Hillary Clinton, accusing them of being afraid to come on his show. The late-night host, known for his sharp wit and fearless approach to political discourse, has often invited political figures from across the spectrum to engage in heated debates and discussions. However, Maher claims that high-profile Democrats have consistently declined his invitations, raising questions about the increasing reluctance of politicians to participate in open, challenging conversations. The refusal of key Democratic figures, Kamala Harris, who made headlines during her presidential campaign and has since been a central figure in the Biden administration, has notably avoided appearing on Maher's platform. Despite her visibility on other late-night shows, such as The Tonight Show and The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, she has repeatedly declined Maher's invitations. Maher, who has been vocal about his desire to host more diverse political perspectives on his show, expressed his disappointment in Harris's reluctance to engage with him, especially considering his long-standing criticism of Donald Trump and his allies. He made it clear that his criticisms are not limited to one side of the political spectrum, but are directed at the establishment as a whole. The Clintons and their avoidance. Hillary Clinton and her husband, former President Bill Clinton, have also been absent from Maher's Real Time. This comes as a significant surprise, given Bill Clinton's history of making media appearances, including frequent interviews during his time in office. For Maher, this absence represents more than just a missed opportunity for dialogue. It reflects a broader trend of Democrats avoiding platforms that challenge their polished public personas. Despite his often favorable stance on Bill Clinton's presidency, Maher has expressed frustration with both Clinton's post-presidential reluctance to engage in direct discussions. According to Maher, the Clintons' avoidance is indicative of a broader issue within the Democratic Party, a tendency to avoid uncomfortable questions and honest, unfiltered conversation. Why the fear? So why this aversion to Maher's show? Political analysts have suggested that it's not just about Maher's comedic style, but the potential risk involved in engaging with someone known for asking tough, sometimes controversial questions. Maher's reputation for challenging political narratives, even those from his own ideological side, is one that can put political figures on the defensive. Politicians like Harris and the Clintons may prefer more controlled environments where they can present their views without facing unpredictable or pointed challenges. Maher himself has remarked that he doesn't understand why Democrats, particularly those in positions of power, are so hesitant to come on his show. In his view, the platform offers an opportunity for honest, open conversation. He noted that he invites conservative figures to his show and has engaged with them in dialogue, even when their views sharply contrast with his own. Maher's disappointment with political cowardice. For Maher, the refusal to engage in tough conversations signals a broader problem in American politics, a lack of courage from politicians unwilling to face uncomfortable truths. In his monologues, Maher has often criticized both parties for becoming too insulated, relying on echo chambers and avoiding cross-party dialogue. He believes that this reluctance to engage with alternative viewpoints has contributed to the current political polarization and distrust among the electorate. Bill Maher's brand of humor and political analysis is not for everyone. He has never been afraid to criticize both Republicans and Democrats when he believes their actions are counterproductive. However, Maher's frustration with the Democratic elite stems from their apparent unwillingness to engage in meaningful discourse with the public, especially when it involves questioning their own policies and political choices. The impact on the Democratic Party. The avoidance of Maher's show by prominent Democrats, particularly during times of political crisis or national unrest, raises questions about the state of political engagement in the modern age. As more and more platforms cater to a specific political ideology or demographic, the importance of independent and thought-provoking spaces like Maher's becomes even more critical. When politicians avoid shows that present complex, nuanced discussions, it can alienate voters who are looking for authentic, unfiltered dialogue. Maher's critique is not merely about his show being snubbed. It's about a growing trend where political leaders avoid difficult conversations to maintain their image. For Maher, it's about transparency and accountability, two values he believes are essential to a functioning democracy. He sees his show as a platform where these qualities should be displayed, and he expects politicians to rise to the occasion. Political fear and media strategy. The fear of appearing on Maher's show reflects a larger issue in the media strategies of political figures. With social media and controlled messaging becoming the dominant means of communication, it's no surprise that politicians, especially those in the Democratic Party, want to protect their image. In an age where a single misstep can lead to viral backlash, many figures prefer to appear on shows where the conversation is more predictable and the tone is more sympathetic. This strategy might make sense in the short term, but it also limits the opportunity for politicians to demonstrate their ability to handle tough questions and engage with their critics. By avoiding Maher's show, they risk reinforcing the perception that they're more interested in control than in transparency. Maher's call for open debate. Despite the ongoing tension, Maher remains steadfast in his belief that open debate is essential for the health of democracy. He often criticizes both political parties for failing to create spaces where honest debate can take place. For him, refusing to participate in these conversations only furthers the divide between the political elite and the general public. "I don't care if you're from the right or the left," Maher said in one of his monologues. "I'm going to ask you the tough questions, and I expect real answers." That's the problem with this whole thing. We're all too scared to talk to each other honestly. Looking ahead. Will the Democrats engage? Whether or not Kamala Harris, the Clintons, and other high-profile Democrats will choose to engage with Maher in the future remains uncertain. For now, Maher's criticisms serve as a reminder of the growing disconnect between political elites and voters who are hungry for authenticity and accountability. As political polarization continues to grow, the challenge remains. Will politicians be brave enough to face their critics in a genuine, open forum? Or will they continue to avoid tough questions in favor of safer, more controlled media appearances?